The level of secrecy and secret facilities and the capabilities of our nationally kept secrets would shatter most people's imagination of what is possible. Area 51, Los Alamos, Dulce, 100 other top secret bases where information is kept or hidden from the public in general, it would be very hard to accept that all of this information that is currently held secret and classified is actually real.
And you know this because why?
Because I've experienced things in the military that I've then told people about, and by and large, people that have never held a top secret clearance would call me either at the mildest a liar, the greatest accusation crazy. Certainly my experience at Area 51 and PSY training and what I learned there and the abilities that evolved from that training session that we all seem to pick up on rather easily were most easily described to the layman as Jedi skills. It's very easy, if you know what I know, to see the correlation between what happens in the movie in the Jedi training and what happens in Area 51 and PSY training. Certainly we in the Nines all possessed a certain level of intuition and ability that would seem advanced to anyone who watched us use it. I don't believe most of the American public has been properly informed via the media, so we're trying to get the message out and get some support in the fact that we cannot continue to allow the progressive erosion of the constitutional rights and expect to have our rights ever be taken seriously at some point. We as human beings are far more capable of using many, many advanced skills beyond five senses. With a little bit of training and the knowledge that it was actually possible, most people could accurately predict the possibilities of the future, to know when other people were thinking about them. Pick up on what is easy to describe as reading people, where you don't really need to use your five senses to be able to know what somebody else is thinking or feeling. A lot of that has to do simply with the belief that and the understanding that it's possible. That opens up a lot of doors. And that's very important because if you teach people these things, you want to be able to turn those things off if you want to. You want to take those abilities away from people if you don't want them to have them anymore. So if you tell them the true nature of the abilities, then you can't take belief away anymore. Understanding at the time was that was realistic. However, if you go down the road further and free will continues to exercise itself on this game, that 79% possibility sometimes changes very, very fast. But if you look at the situation in a point of time, it seems very realistic that that's the greatest possibility. What happened was people, very smart people, began to figure out that something big was coming up. Something that made it so all the possibilities of all the future scenarios of any choice, any possibility that was fed in and observed through the looking glass inherently ended up in the same future. And no decision, no possibility changed past a certain point. That's the big secret. All possible timelines lead to the same basic set of history in the future. That is the big secret. That is what sends everybody that has all of the information, that knows everything, into a blind panic. The people that know everything about Looking Glass, that have gotten all the reports and all the information, the elites of the world, probably figured out that that was the end of the game, and nothing could be manipulated beyond that point. There is an inevitable event. It's been forecast, it's been predicted, it's been fed to us in a slop trough of what they want us to believe will happen. However, they don't actually have control over what happens. They only have control over the reaction, and it seems that no matter what they try to do to cause their desired reaction, it's going to have an opposite effect. Now, it's much easier for me to explain today what that process is as opposed to back then. But if I had to give it a name, I would say it's the awakening process. It's an evolution of consciousness that cannot, will not, and no matter what decisions or possibilities are injected into the equation, eventually it all resolves down to us all learning the truth and becoming aware of this massive dam of lies that has been built that keep us from knowing massive volume of information that we should otherwise possess.
Help by spreading this message. Share with your friends, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Turn on notifications to stay updated.